Yep, Thompson pushed Gobert, committing his second personal foul.
I'll tell you, very quietly, Ingles has made a big dent here with the assists and the defense.
Been a factor, no doubt.
Every home game, we pick a winner to be the Cypress fan of the night. Tonight's winner, Matt. Matt is in section 129. There he is. Let's go to Cypress Crew. They're throwing out free stuff upstairs. And now let's get on your feet, everybody. Time for the Sprite Giant Slingshot. Make some noise.
It's time for me to take it. I'm the boss right now, not gonna fake it. Now when you go down, 'cause this is my game, and you better come to play. I used to hold my freak back, now I'm letting go. I make my own choice, yeah, I run this show. So leave the lights on, no you can't make me behave. So you say I'm complicated, that I must be out of my mind. But you've had me underrated, What's wrong with being, what's wrong with being, what's wrong with being confident? What's wrong with being, what's wrong with being, what's wrong with being confident? What's wrong with being, what's wrong with being confident? What's wrong with being, what's wrong with being confident? So you say I'm complicated.
This week's menu is brought to you by Panera Bread on NBA TV. Tomorrow it is the Clippers and Spurs. Then on Wednesday, another ESPN doubleheader. The Thunder in Boston, Clippers at Houston. Saturday night, great one in San Antonio. Warriors and Spurs, the two best records in the NBA. Tuesday, March 22nd, Thunder, Rockets, and the Lakers host Memphis.
Now let's give the Jazz a lot of credit. We look up, we have 8 minutes left, and here's the deal. They have made 9 threes in this game. They have held Cleveland to 40% shooting, which is really, and they're winning the paint 36-30. That is big. Can they hold on?
And Jerry Sloan has to like what he's seeing from this Quinn Snyder coach team as Lyles hits a three. The bench coming alive now for Utah. Lyles with 2 3-pointers, and Utah leads by 5.
I'm glad you brought up Jerry Sloan, one of the truly great players in the league. He and Van Leer in the backcourt, the old Chicago teams when they played for Dick Motta. And then here, a legendary coach, one of the greatest ever to coach, running the best offenses, and then backed it up with Stockton, Hornacek, Malone, and just played great basketball. We miss him dearly. A terrific coach and a great man.
Couple trips to the finals, resigned abruptly 5 years ago. And Utah trying to get back to the playoffs. They've got a shot. Right now they're in 9th place, but they're only 2 games out of 6. This Mack hits another 3, and Utah has made 11 triples. Their lead is 8. 9-0 run by the Jazz.
Hey, Mack is 3 for 5 in the 3-ball. It's just great. And you know, they're doing all of this without Hood. Just think of this a second.
Right, he's not out there right now as a foul is called on the floor after the Shumpert tip attempt. They're doing it without Gordon Hayward, too, who's not even playing tonight.
Now just watch this. See, this guy can play with a lot of confidence. He played with Hayward at Butler. We know that he was a terrific player in college. He's been able to hang around. He's a fighter, and you love it when guys, they sit behind 2 other point guards like he did in Atlanta for a number of years. When he got his chance, he exploded and delivered. And that's what he's doing here. Not only did he come here, he came here and they started him.
Kyrie Irving gets into the lane. Just 5 of 19 now from the floor. That ends a 9-0 Utah run. Nearing the midway point of the fourth quarter, LeBron James, Kevin Love back in the game with their team down 6, trying to close out a road trip with a 4-0 record before heading back home Wednesday. Lyles hits a two-pointer. Trey Lyles got it going.
This guy has come in. He looked for his shots in that first half also. And you can see he's comfortable at the top of the circle.
Love not even close.
Oh, boy.
Lyles may have altered that shot as he extended on Love.
And they get a break here. They get a break here because it goes off of the Jazz out of bounds.
Love just 4 of 11, so he and Irving are 9 for 30 from the floor. James is 8 of 16, but he started 6 of 7. Here's LeBron with Ingles on him. Shot clock at 9. Now James picked up by Lyles. LeBron for 3. They're 1 of 8 from three-point
where
land.
are you going?
This quarter, James saves it to Love. And then a steal by Neto, but it went off his shoulder out of bounds.
Listen, why I said that was when LeBron shot the shot, Lyles took off. You can't take off because as soon as he missed the shot, he went and got the rebound. And you can't do that. You got to stay with LeBron James. You can't be leaking out looking for a long pass.
The NBA on ESPN is presented all season long by State Farm. We exist to assist. And in part by Straight Talk Wireless. Best phones, best networks, half the cost. Bank of America. And Wendy's, proud sponsor of the 2016 John R. Wooden Award Men's Player of the Year.
All right, we got $100 in free gas tonight, so come on, get on your feet, people, come on! All right, that wasn't bad. Come on, what do you guys have? Come on, turn it up! All right, I know you can do better. Come on, we can't hear you! Come on, everybody down here. Come on, turn it up, people. That's it? Come on. You got any left? Come on, people. Here we go. This is our house. Come on, make some noise.
Yes. Silent talk. Silent talk.
Welcome back to NBA Special Edition presented by State Farm. Dave Pasch, Hall of Famer Hubie Brown, and J.A. Adonde in Salt Lake City, where the Utah Jazz, thanks to great bench play here in the fourth quarter, leading the Cavaliers by 8. They've outscored Cleveland 15-7 here in the fourth quarter.
Well, Lyles has been a major contributor here. And now they brought Hood back in the game for the last 5 minutes and 50 seconds. Here's a guy who's been missing. Right there. Yep. He only has 2 points in this game.
1 for 8 now and 0 for 4 from three-point land. So the starting guards for Cleveland have 13 points on 1 of 11 shooting. Mack and Hood are 7 of 13 from 3. They have a combined 40 points. Lyles gets his own miss.
Okay, Lyles, you can see he's got good offensive IQ. He can get to where he wants to go, and he's always looking for the shot or the cut. How about that? How about that roll to that area rather than rolling into the paint. Rolled and created the angle so he could bank the shot.
And their bench has 12 points here in the fourth quarter. They had 7 points through the first 3 quarters as Smith fires, misses again on the 3, and another push-off by Tristan Thompson. That is 3 fouls on Thompson.
Well, you love it. Big Gobert, I'm telling you now, he's a handful. You know, when you look at this guy and you say the guy can reach 9'7" just by putting his arms up, you know, he's got an incredible wingspan, and very quietly he goes about his business, but you got to pay attention to him.
Yeah, Gobert, Quinn Snyder told us he didn't score yesterday against the Kings, but he had a great game. All the other things that he does. He's got 11 rebounds tonight, couple of assists, 5 points. Here's Hood, who has 23 points, a game high. Now Mack to the corner. Ingles for 3. Good! It's a 13-point Utah lead.
Great decision by Mack. Why? Because he could have shot the ball and it would have been a tough release. Finding the man in the corner. Great team play.
Oh, James
come on now.
with an elbow there to Ingles. Could have called that.
That was an offensive foul. Come on now.
Irving to the bucket, scores. He's got 13 points now. Nearing 4 minutes to go. The Cavaliers down 11.
Just keep running your stuff. Shorten your passes. Make good decisions here now.
Ooh, Channing Frye takes a shot to the midsection. He doesn't like it. Oh, a headbutt! Channing Frye headbutting Lyles. Lyles pushes off.
Yeah, now I'll tell you what. Frye got hit in the groin, and Frye did not go to change. He went right back and went right at Lyles and said something and bumped heads. Now this is going to be interesting because they have to go to the monitor now to see this whole play. See, now right there, he definitely gets hit in the groin.
But then
now
watch the reaction.
Now watch what happens now. See, you're instigating here. Now this is going to be a tough call by what they're going to do. But he definitely gets hit in the groin.
Question is, was that intentional or not to hit Frye in that area?
Well, the key is they made the call. They made the call for that. But now it comes down to the player now, whether they're going to say that he instigated the situation.
Right.
Okay.
Do they call a technical on Frye? Right. Do they call a double technical on both guys for that? I mean, you see a punch there thrown after the push.
That's right. Well, we know that was, we can't call that a punch. Right? It was like a wave. A wave.
Right there. I mean, he did throw it, though.
But I give Lyles a lot of credit because he stood his ground. He didn't do anything.
Right.
All right. He didn't push off. What he did was he stood his ground because he's not going to allow you to intimidate me. Okay. And I like that. I don't care what they call here. I like what Lyles did because he's playing great offensively. Now that was uncalled for. Well, did he do it deliberately? That's a bad angle. If I see that elbow go down deliberately and hit him, that's a different story.
And whether Frye thought that, and they're watching it, see they're looking at the swing by Frye, and whether Frye thought that he did it intentionally or not, he's certainly trying to intimidate the rookie.
Oh, absolutely. No doubt about that.
Well, Cleveland has struggled shooting the ball here from 3 tonight, especially here in the quarter. They're 1 of 10.
All right, now keep an eye. Now here's the angle. All right, now see the elbow comes. The elbow comes and gets Frye. They called that. They called that right away. But now, see, instead of going the other way, all right, what happens now? Frye comes in and starts the situation. Gets the head bump, and then you're not going to step back. Lyles isn't going to step back. He's going to hold his ground. But then that weak swing, we knew he couldn't hit him because there was a player in between them. But now, what's the interpretation?
Sure, and do they say that, yes, they called Lyles for a personal? Do they change Lyles' foul to a flagrant because it's an elbow to the groin area? Excessive physical contact.
Well, you see, you got to understand, you teach. When a guy comes up on you, you teach swinging. All right, reverse stepping, and that's what he was doing. He was reverse stepping to get space so that he could face the basket. Unfortunately, Frye was up close, and he hits him right in the groin. Now, only he knows whether he did that deliberately.
Right.
You and I have no idea.
No.
Okay?
But the officials are still having a conversation, and there's a lot to talk about. First, whether the foul on Lyles is just a personal or a flagrant. Then, what to do with what took place after that. Is anybody ejected? Do we have technical fouls? What's the free throw situation? All that being discussed right now. It is 86-75. Utah leading Cleveland here with 3:57 to go in the fourth. 19 points for LeBron James. And the leading scorer for Utah is Rodney Hood with 23.
See, this is taking a long time. See, this is what I'm against. We're taking so much time now. The players are cooling down. Right now, the Jazz are on a roll. What you're doing now is you're taking away that momentum by this long delay, which, I mean, I don't know. You and I figured this out about 3 minutes ago, okay? I mean, what is the problem over there, okay?
I don't know. Well, this is, again, you've got several things that you're looking at here, but you would think by now that we would have a decision on all of it. I'm guessing we're at about 90 seconds. You got the headbutt there that was deliberate by Fry, and then you had the swing. So they may eject Fry here. But again, the officials are still having the conversation, and they got to figure out whether Lyles committed a flagrant and whether Lyles did anything afterwards when the two came together, when the heads came together there afterwards.
Look,
did they
back
say
in
that Lyles is guilty?
Secaucus, there are a number of people that are watching that are supposed to help these guys in this situation.
Right.
We know it's still their decision, okay? Now just think about this. We're over 5 minutes of time. That's incredible.
We're at 6 minutes now, Huey. The clock just changed. I think we're done.
Look, we know it's a tough call. We know it's a tough situation. But you made the right call initially. Now you know you have to penalize Fry for the headbutt, for going in and bumping it. You got to do that. Now, how you interpret what happens after that is the real key here now of whether anything is going to happen to Lyles.
Well, Tom Washington is now telling everybody at the scorer's table the deal, and then the other officials will go tell the other benches what the ruling is. Hopefully somebody will tell us, because we're at about 7, maybe close to 8 minutes now of delay time. Yeah, Fry's gone. I think he knows he's going. Yep. So Fry's going to be ejected here. Question is, what happens to Lyles? We're being told that Lyles has ejected as well, perhaps because they felt that the elbow was flagrant.
Yeah, but let's face it, it never would have happened. They made the call. They didn't make it a flagrant call. They just called a foul.
Yeah, right.
All right, now, if Fry just goes to the other end, nothing would have happened here. Now, unfortunately for the Jazz, the interpretation must be that the push, that Lyles made a push, and then that's why Fry swung back.
So they're not telling us anything. That both players have been ejected. We know that. Both players are ejected, but we have not been told exactly the ruling. And I think Fry got a technical as well. Hood gets the free throw. So that's Fry's second technical. Now the question was he ejected for the technical or was he ejected for the swing? So they did call a flagrant 2 on Lyles for the elbow.
Well,
and then you have the technical on Fry. That's his second technical, so he's gone. The flagrant 2 is the reason for the ejection for Lyles. Sasha Cone is shooting the free throws because Fry is out, and that's the player the coach picked off the bench to shoot the free throw.
They went down.
Yeah, Quinn Snyder gets to make that decision. The guy off the bench, he can pick anybody to shoot the free throw.
Well, now remember, this young guy is a rookie in the league. He's from Russia. He plays on the national Russia team. He played for Blatt when they were the bronze in the Olympics, in the past Olympics. So he has played in the Russian pro leagues for years, and they think that he has a real good future here with Cleveland.
All right, so we got it sorted out. Flagrant 2.
We got it sorted out, but it took forever.
And now we get a timeout.
And they just lost the guy that has scored 12 points and is hot, Lyles.
Back in a moment.
Make some noise. Help the little hairy fella.
So after an extreme lengthy delay, we're going to get back to basketball here with Utah in front, outscoring Cleveland in the fourth quarter 21-10, but still enough time for the Cavaliers, trailing by 11 with 3:57 to go. Channing Frye ejected from the game for his second technical. Trey Lyles ejected for a flagrant 2. So it's Love, James, Smith, Dellavedova, and Irving. A very small lineup here for Cleveland. We went 11 minutes there of real time between action.
We'll see what they're doing. By going small, they force you to take Gobert out of the game. And it forces Favors now to match up with Love.
And he got Booker on James. Here's Irving over Mack and gets the bounce. Irving now 7 of 21 from the floor, 15 points.
Big thing right now, if you're the Jazz, you got to keep running your clock, but make sure now that you start before 3 or 4 seconds to make your final move.
Here's Rodney Hood, 24 points, a game high. Smith defending. Shot clock at 5. Hood to the basket, draws contact from Love, and will go to the line for 2. That's the 14th foul on Cleveland, the first on Love.
Now that was a very intelligent move by Hood. They had nothing. He knew the clock was down. He drives hard into a double team, and yet he's still able to get the contact.
You've been really impressed by this kid.
Don't pull up and take a bad shot. He hasn't done a bad thing all night.
Another terrific doubleheader for you on Wednesday with the Thunder and Celtics kicking things off at 7 Eastern. And the Clippers are in Houston to face the Rockets at 9:30. Houston right now in Dallas with 33 losses. Portland with 33 losses. That's the 6th, 7th, and 8th marks in the West. Utah's at 35 losses, so they're 2 games out of a playoff spot, but they're really 2 games out of 6. So the Jazz very much in the mix. This would be a huge win if they can close it out. They lead by 11 as we approach 3 minutes to go. Here's James working against Favors. Ball knocked out of bounds, and it was last touched by LeBron.
All right, now, see, this team is so well coached defensively by Quinn Snyder and his staff. They take away that baseline on you. That's where Cleveland kills you, on the baseline.
They're holding Cleveland to 78 points. Remember, this is a team that scored 110 or more in 5 straight games. Now, I know some of that is the pace as we have an offensive foul in Utah, but a lot of it is the defense.
The defense has just been outstanding, mainly because you never see Cleveland in this type of a situation, they're still only shooting 40%, 4-0.
And again, they had 26 points in the first quarter, and they're at 78 for the game. Here's Irving, has 8 of the Cavs' 12 points in the fourth quarter. He'll get a look at a three, and it's short. Kept alive, though, by Love. And now Smith. The Cavs need this one to go down, and it does. His first three-pointer.
Yeah, the main thing now is just try to keep your cool. That was a great offensive board play by Cleveland. And then Smith standing up and knocking that big shot.
Cavs are now 10 of 38 from three-point land. Mack driving. Leaves it for Favors. And a reach-in foul called. Listen in to the Utah head coach Quinn Snyder.
One of the biggest things is not to react to anything. Okay, get to the next play and get the defensive boards. All right, Stubbs needs defensive boards.
He's been preaching all night long, the defense, and that's what has been the big factor. Sure, they made a ton of shots. They made the three ball, but their defense has just been outstanding. Then he's right about the second chance points because they just got another three on a second chance play.
20 second chance points for Cleveland.
Think if they didn't get just half of that,
Yep.
okay? You're in a romp. But that's how tough they are. They put that pressure on you. Can you rebound your defensive board?
Favors misses that second free throw. 2 minutes to go. Cavaliers ball. Down 9. James cutting. Dellavedova finds him, and it's a 7-point game. Now can the Cavs get another stop?
Big thing right now, they got to tighten up. The thing with the Cavs right now is you cannot foul a guy with the shot clock down.
They got the ball in the right guy's hands. Rodney Hood has been fantastic all night. He'll give it up, get it back from Mack. Now Mack with 5. Here's Ingles from the corner. The 3 too strong, but an offensive rebound by Booker.
That's what you have to do. Booker, we know, is in there for his defense and his rebounding. See, they got him spread out, and what they're doing is they're saying, are you going to come out and trap it? Just stay out there. Just run your clock. Force Cleveland to play you.
Love guarding Hood. Hood will take the 3. And Booker almost got the rebound. Now James has it.
Oh, you got to get a good shot here.
Oh, James bailed out with a foul called on Ingles as he was trying to pass the ball. That would only be the first foul in the last 2 minutes on Utah, so no free throws here unless they say James is in the shooting motion. No, they won't. Ball out of bounds.
No, he was definitely not shooting. So they get a break there. And the main thing is right now, you're up 7 with 1:09. And this is what you got to talk about. You want to protect against the 3, but you got to take care of the defensive board.
Terrific game here in Salt Lake City. Cleveland down 7 with possession. Just outside a minute remaining. Both teams are over the foul limit, or at least Utah will be on the next foul. Cleveland has the ball in the front court. LeBron James just 2 fourth quarter points, 21 for the night to lead the Cavs. Rodney Hood has 26 points to lead Utah.
2 things come in now if you're the Utah Jazz. If Cleveland scores, be prepared for full court pressure. Do not force an inbounds pass because you have a foul. You have timeouts to give here. Okay, so consequently, you're sitting on 3, so you're in good shape. Do not make a bad pass in traffic when you have an opportunity to call a timeout. Remember, do not foul a 3-point shooter.
Here's Kevin Love. They go to James. LeBron will bring it out. Lets it go. The 3 is off the mark. And a loose ball foul is called
boy,
here.
What a call. What a great call.
Rodney Hood, they say, was bumped out of bounds by Kevin Love, and that's 2 on Love. Free throws on the other end for Utah as Cleveland is over the foul limit.
You know, I have an always saying, you always tell your players, when you have a chance to get a ball that's going out of bounds, do not allow the referee to make the decision. Get the ball. He was on the line. Did it look like he was on the line? It was close.
It didn't look like a foul on Love. It looked like 2 guys going for the ball. I thought they missed that one. Looked like a bad call.
I'm surprised that Cleveland came out of a timeout and were hesitant about what they were doing and ended up with that shot in the corner. Took them a long time to get there.
It did. And it was a step back.
Correct.
3 by James. Hood with 27 points now, 5 of 5 from the line. Been the best player on the floor tonight. Gets them both.
Really been terrific.
Timeout Cleveland. 1 remaining for the Cavaliers. Just outside a minute to go. Cleveland, if it could beat Utah tonight, would have a 3-game lead on Toronto because the Raptors lost. Meanwhile, Utah trying to stay 2 games back in the loss column from Dallas, Houston, and Portland. It's going to be a great race at the bottom of the West. The way Utah's playing right now, the job that McCollum and Lillard have done keeping Portland alive, Dallas has dropped back to the pack a little bit.
All right, we know that for Utah to make a move, you got to have Hayward here also. Hayward has got to be able to play for them in the games that they must win. And by that we mean a 20-point guy, your leading scorer. That's that. Will Burks come back? That's a potential. He might come back. You say, who's Burks? 6'6", 2 guard who only averages 15 points a game. He has missed all of his time because of an injury. Now, if these 2 things can happen for you, you can still make a legitimate, strong run. Because tonight, this is an inspirational game for this team, that they can play their type of basketball.
Inside a minute to go. Good D by Favors to get out on Smith, who hoists the 3. Off target. Favors with a rebound. Well done defensively by the Jazz. Cleveland is 2 for 14 from 3 in the 4th quarter. And 10 of 40 for the game.
They didn't know trap. They're just going to let them go, run the clock down, and it's all to the favor of the Utah Jazz. Just run the clock.
Favors hits the jumper. And for the 2nd straight year here in Salt Lake City, the Jazz going to knock off Cleveland. Last year it was on a Gordon Hayward jumper in the final seconds. Their leading scorer doesn't even play tonight, yet they're still going to beat the Cavs. Smith for 3, no. Long rebound, Love. So Cleveland had a chance to go 4-0 on this road trip. They end up losing the finale here in Salt Lake City.
You know what's beautiful about that possession? The white shirts were still chasing that ball.
Yeah.
They were chasing it hard and making them make the next pass. And that was the story of all night here.
Great win for Utah. Boy, this kid, Rodney Hood, impressed. 28 points in 34 minutes. LeBron James had 23 points. 12 rebounds in defeat. 3 straight wins for the Utah Jazz, and they've held each opponent under 100 points, including 85 tonight for Cleveland, a team that had been scoring 110 plus the last. More on this game. More on the college basketball NCAA tournament, men's and women's brackets, NFL news as well. For Hubie Brown, J.A. Adonde, our entire crew, I'm Dave Pasch. So long from Salt Lake, where Utah beats Cleveland 94-85. Hood with 28 as the Jazz win. Off to Sports Center.